The MLB trade deadline is rapidly approaching, and if the Phillies want to remain atop the National League, there are some moves to be made to improve the club. There are some glaring holes in a roster that hasn't had too much trouble finding wins this season. In this video, we will be breaking down the potential trade deadline targets the Phillies may go after at the upcoming deadline. Welcome back, I'm Sticky Chris, and I'm here to talk about all things Philly sports. If you're a fan of any Philly sports teams, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Right off the ball, we will get into the big name the Phillies are rumored to be going after, and that's White Sox center fielder Luis Robert. Robert has had a weird season, with his average being under 230, but an OPS over 800. This is because his slugging percentage is at 500 so far in the season, meaning when he does get hits, they are usually extra base hits. He is up to 10 home runs through his first 136 at-bats of the season, which is about a home run every 13.5 at-bats. He does have discipline issues, as his chase percentage and strikeout percentage are towards the bottom of the league. He plays solid defense in center field, though many are skeptical of his lack of effort, which is a concern of mine as well. What intrigues the Phillies about Robert is the combination of his insane power, defense, and speed. He ranks in the 84th percentile in speed, and has a cannon of an arm. He would replace Yohan Rojas in center, and provide much more power to a lineup that is already filled with power-hitting stars. My take on this trade is still uncertain. The Phillies need a righty power bat, but Robert's strikeout rate as well as his lack of effort at times is a problem waiting to happen. The Phillies clubhouse has been rolling on good vibes all season long, so you don't want him to come in and wreck the chemistry. On the upside, he has tremendous power that will sit him in the middle of the order of an already powerful lineup. I would say for the Phillies to shy away from him unless they can get him for cheaper than expected. I don't want to give up too many of our top prospects for Robert unless it's in a package deal, which I will get to in a second. Overall, I don't think Robert by himself is the smartest idea at the moment unless the deal sits at the right price. Sticking with the White Sox, starting pitcher Garrett Crochet would immediately give the Phillies the best rotation in baseball, if not the best rotation we've seen for years. If they go for Robert, they can very well package the deal and go for Crochet as well. This is going to be a high price, but it will be worth it considering the value they'll be getting in return. Before I get into potential trade scenarios, let's break down Crochet's numbers for the year. In 105 innings, he has a 3.08 ERA and a 0.97 WHIP. This is paired with a 12.47 K per 9, an insane mark for a starter with an ERA and WHIP that low. His Baseball Savant page is red all over, sitting at the top of most of the pitching categories. His expected ERA is 2.38, so he is pitching even better than his stats show. His fastball velocity is also in the 92nd percentile, which is great to have. To get this deal done with Crochet and Robert, the Phillies are going to have to give up a couple of their top prospects. Andrew Painter is likely to go as he's the number one prospect for the Phillies. It sucks to part with him as he has so much potential, but if you can get a young, somewhat proven pitcher like Crochet in return, it almost makes it worth it, especially for the 2024 playoff run. I think they can get this deal done without including Aiden Miller, but Justin Crawford will definitely have to be included. Along with Painter and Crawford, the Phillies will likely have to include a couple more top 20 prospects. I would do this trade because the Phillies would get 2 All-Stars back in return for likely 4 prospects that haven't made the majors yet, only one of them being relatively close. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would do this trade to acquire the 2 White Sox stars. Another need for the Phillies is bullpen depth. They have had guys step up in Jeff Hoffman, Matt Strahm, and Orion Kerkring, but adding one more lights-out piece to that bullpen would be key for the playoffs. Mason Miller of the Oakland Athletics is the reliever I think the Phillies would most likely go after if they make a big move. Just take a look at his Baseball Savant page. He is in the 100th percentile in 6 of the pitching categories, which is absolutely absurd. His expected ERA is 1.49, which is the best in baseball, with his fastball velocity also being the best in baseball, averaging over 100 miles per hour. Miller would also cost a lot. They would have to send either one of their top 3 prospects or a couple of their top 20 prospects. This move would make the Phillies bullpen lights out, so it's something they might want to look at. What are your thoughts on a Mason Miller trade? A much safer and cheaper approach to the bullpen would be Nationals reliever Kyle Finnegan. Finnegan is on a 1-year deal worth around $5 million, so going after him would not cost the Phillies as much. On the year, he has a 2.17 ERA and a 0.96 WHIP, so he's limiting runs as well as base runners at a solid rate. He strikes out a lot of guys and has a nice fastball, so it might be a move the Phillies want to take a look at. This move will cost the Phillies a bag of chips, so if they aren't looking to give up any of their top prospects, Finnegan should be a target at the back end of the bullpen. The Phillies don't have a lot of holes in their roster, but adding more doesn't hurt when they are preparing for a playoff push. Robert, Crochet, Miller, and Finnegan are all targets I think the Phillies should go after at the upcoming deadline. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these trade deadline targets for the Phillies, and if there's anyone you would add to this list. Do you guys want to see a part 2 to this video? Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things Philly sports. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.